Non-governmental organizations are being challenged to build structures that can keep them functioning beyond their founders and amid dwindling foreign donor funding. The call was made today at a capacity-building session organized by the Association of Orphans and Vulnerable Children in Nigeria FCT chapter in Abuja, with a focus on stronger internal systems, domestic resource mobilization, and strategic partnerships.
Today we are having Aeon FCT's coalition and capacity building session, wherein we have invited our member organizations from all across FCT to convene here at Silver Lining Initiative Academy for insightful and engaging training session. We had two topical issues today that were being treated, which we believe that would go a long way in improving the capacity building or the capacity strength of our member organization. Because one of the things that Aeon does is to build the capacity of members that are in the coalition. So the topics were on SOPs, that's standard operating procedures, and as well as domestic resource management, in the non-profit space, and then these trainings, actually we had to get facilitators to carry out these trainings that are subject experts in the two related topics. And we see here today that our members have been very engaged. It was enlightening for them, myself inclusive. They were able to ask questions, deep questions, question even their own visions, their own blueprints for the organizations, to see where there are gaps and how we can cover the gaps. We're able to provide them with the avenue wherein they can improve their visibility, because it's not just about having an NGO, but how well are you being known? How has your impact been translated, from your projects that you've been doing? How long have you actually been carrying out monitoring and evaluation to assess the impact? Like I was saying, the networking opportunities that abound. We also looked at places where we can other ways we can source for funding. Like we all know that donor funding is dwindling or has dwindled. So this particular training showed members how we can generate funds or even assess funding, whether it's financial or it's in-kind kind of grants or funding, from within your own local setting.
I took a session today on domestic mobilization and partnership. And it's really just to emphasize that we need to ensure that we understand the policies of the government, because a lot of NGOs start and they are starting just based on passion, but they're not aligned with government priorities, number one, and they don't have any partnerships. They're not learning from each other. I spoke about SWOT analysis of the organization, so that you know where your strengths are, your weaknesses are, opportunities and threats as well. That will help you move forward in whatever it is that you're doing and wherever it is you're trying to head to. I've spoken about the value of in-kind donations and pro bono services. A lot of times NGOs don't have money to pay for these services, but they don't take out the time to explore where they can get the services and who they can approach to request these services at a pro bono level or a more discounted level. People are willing to help if you even attempt to ask for the help. I'm more focused on solutions, because problems will always be there. So even if you get money or donations or a grant, you're going to still have problems. It's just that your problems are going to change. So problems are always going to be there. So I'm not really so focused on the weaknesses or the lack of funding or issues, because I believe that if you kind of structure the organization, you're working in the right path. So yes, grants are hard to get, but even within ourselves, within Nigeria, you can get support. Like I said, focusing a lot on pro bono services, in-kind support, in-kind donations. Those are things that also can help, because even when NGOs have money, they forget that they can do those things. Meanwhile, when you have money, you can manage your money better if you're at least collecting pro bono services, and you're tapping into those opportunities as well. I don't believe that nobody wants to do charity. I don't believe that nobody wants to support charitable causes, and I don't believe that nobody wants to volunteer. What I do believe is that sometimes we approach the wrong people, the wrong organizations. So no doesn't kill anybody. If you approach somebody and they say no, move on to the next person. But in doing that, you can also explore the people that are aligned with your mission and your vision. And in terms of volunteering, there are people that really want to volunteer. And I always preach volunteering not only for the organization, but even the individual. It's a platform for them to learn, to develop themselves, especially our young people who are graduates, who are university students, who really have no hands-on experience. So as an NGO, we are doing humanitarian work. And so sometimes emotions and sentiments get into things. But in order to be effective, we have to be professional. And that means that we have to measure people based on matrix. So this is what your deliverable is. This is the deadline of the deliverable. Of course, if you have issues, come before the deadline to express your challenges and all that. But most of the time, because we're all supposedly doing humanitarian work, we feel that sentiments should not start holding us back and making us keep people that are not the right fit for organizations or don't have the capacity. NGOs need to be able to translate their impact into numbers. That's what donors want. They want to know impact through numbers, not impact through sentiments. So we need to be able to start translating our numbers.
Building strong internal systems ensures that every entity, especially not-for-profit organizations, have lasting impact or live beyond or exist beyond a third generation leader. And that's really the conversation that we are having. So for every organization that wants to build a long-lasting and sustainable organization, they must consider things like performance, high performance. And when you're talking about high performance, we use certain criteria that OECD recommends, like efficiency, effectiveness, sustainability, relevance. These are the components that an organization can use to determine if they are high performing or not. And we also consider other types of standards like the ISO standards, the organizational capacity assessments, the McKinsey tools. These are all tools that exist to allow organizations to critique or query their status to see if they are performing or if they would outlive the current status that they have as an entity. So you have to put systems in place, strong internal systems that match with already existing standards so that you can outlive your current status. Leaders do not use ego to drive the organization, and they're not afraid. That's why they are founders. They are not afraid that they would lose this organization. But most of the time, what would hinder an organization or the leader from not becoming the kind of entity that would outlive 500 years is from a place of capacity. You can only know what you know, and we have repeated certain patterns as Nigerians. The pattern is to have a business, and when you have the business, that's just what it is. You just have a business and that's what it is. You just want to help people. That's where it usually starts from. I want to be passionate. I want to help somebody. I want to grow the nation. That's usually where it starts from. And most of the time, that's where it dies. It's just that intent. But if the organization leader decides that, no, this can be a succession, because most NGO leaders just want to help, but it's not that this is a business. This is a work this is my new career path. So many of us don't choose it as a career path. And with many other people, when you choose a career path, like doctors, this is what they're doing, and they do it for a lifetime, but nobody even, succeeds them. But if you come with that mindset and say, no, I want to make this a profession, I want to even make this beyond myself, and you change the mission and the orientation of your mind, your capacity, your knowledge, your orientation towards it, your approach will be different. That's just what it is.
But it is important to know that the sustainability of NGOs or CBOs is a key vital leadership principle that must be translated to action. It's not just because you have developed that as a principle. You have to be practicable. You have to put it into practice. And a leader who tries to mentor the subordinates is building that principle to ensure that there is a sustainability of the program and also the CBO or the NGO. Though all these mechanisms are being put in place to ensure that there is a success story at the end of the day. But in Nigeria today, some of the external factors or the policies of government is like an impediment to this sustainability that various leaders in NGOs or CBOs are trying to maintain. But looking at it, you have to see how you can create an enabling environment to harmonize understanding the environmental challenges, to see how you can work on it to transit and translate into a success story. Because you cannot say because the environment where you are working is not conducive, you give up. That is when your leadership efficiency comes in. Because there is a problem in the environment, you have to study the problem, see how you can come out of it and translate it into a success story.